How's it going, everyone? Wishing you a wonderful day today. You're watching Beaver Automotive. My name's Andrew, and behind me is a beautiful 1999 Mercedes-Benz SL 500 or an R129. The R129 SL was truly ahead of its time when it came to features and technology. This car was developed in 1984 and was the very first car to ever have a fully automated convertible top system, which means no manual latches, no screws, just one fancy switch that you hold and everything is done for you. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you which fabric to buy when it comes to replacing your top on your R129. I'll also be going over my experience getting my hydraulic cylinders replaced, the costs involved, the risks involved, and also what I had to deal with after the process. I'll even cover the two most common limit switches that are faulty, the part numbers to those, and then some tips and tricks on how to align your top so that you have the best opportunity at getting a fully functioning convertible top on your own. Now, when it comes to fabric on the R129, the brand that I chose for mine, I went with a company called GAH, G-A-H-H. This manufacturer is actually what most upholstery shops rely on, as it's the closest you can get to OEM-like quality. The fabric is going to be a German classic fabric, black on black, and it also comes with a warranty. Now, on the website currently, you can find this top for around $1,300 to $1,500 to $1,900. However, that does not include installation. Now, you have different options when it comes to actually choosing which section of the top you want to replace. You can just replace the rear section from that company, or you can do the whole top itself. I personally recommend doing the whole top because if you just do the rear section for the rear windows, the original fabric is still 30 plus years old, and the stitching can come undone and you'll have coloration issues. So one of the biggest problems with having an SL is dealing with the hydraulic issue that will inevitably come. These cars originally came with 12 hydraulic cylinders, and then in 1999 they went down to 11 by just reducing one cylinder. Now, there are plenty of ways you can actually approach this problem, but it really depends on how much time you want to spend on doing it yourself or how much money you want to spend paying another shop to do it. And if you do decide to do it yourself, there are plenty of guides out there, and also seals are only around $16 to $18 if you do rebuild the seals yourself. But if you do go the route where you don't want to rebuild the cylinders, you don't want to take any risks damaging the hydraulics, you can always pay a company to actually rebuild them for you. Top Hydraulics will charge $800. However, you do have to do the installation yourself. And then if you just want a whole new set of hydraulic cylinders, it's going to cost you around $2,100. Now, what I did personally was I am known to be pretty clumsy when it comes to working on my cars sometimes, so I didn't want to risk damaging a hydraulic cylinder and having my bank account cry. So I ended up making my bank account cry by paying another shop. For the hydraulic cylinders alone, I was out of pocket around $4,000, and then that will not include the top itself. So keep in mind that shops will typically charge 3 to 6 to 8 to 12. It really depends on what you are wanting to do on top of the hydraulic cylinders and also the rates that the shop will charge. Now, I would recommend calling around your upholstery shops as well, as I have personally gotten better deals from upholstery shops rather than dealing with mechanics. And one of the biggest plus sides to paying a shop to do it for you is that most likely you will have a warranty that will cover your top, so that if anything goes wrong, you just take it back to the shop and they'll fix everything for you with no extra cost. And if you do happen to do everything yourself, there's a chance your hydraulic cylinders will be under warranty if you have them rebuilt, by somebody else, but you still have to take the car apart and you can break clips, you can potentially lose parts, and then that just adds on to a bunch of risks that you really don't need. Now, ultimately, it is up to you to decide on how you want to tackle this. However, If you do decide to do it yourself, you got this. You have plenty of tools and guides. The forums are here to help you. And also, if a mechanic can do it, so can you. Just take your time and then watch as many tutorials as possible so you know you're getting it done right. So limit switches on an R129 are a bunch of sensors or switches located in the compartment for the convertible top. These basically tell the car at which stage the top is at during its operation. Now, if one of these limit switches goes out of alignment, or let's say they just stop working in general, you are going to experience a top that will act as if it was out of alignment. It may get stuck, your tonneau cover may not latch, your bow may not move, and you're going to have a flashing convertible top switch in the cabin. Now, at different points in time, I had 2 limit switches go out on me, and I want to show you which ones were those 2 limit switches and also the symptoms I was facing. Now, the first limit switch on this convertible top that gave me issues was the one responsible for lowering the bow of the convertible top. This limit switch is responsible for telling the car if this bow has been lowered or if it's been raised. And if you do not hear a clicking noise when this bow is lowered, then that can very well be your issue on why your top is out of alignment. Now, if you've ever experienced the annoying situation where your tonneau cover lowers, but it's not latching into this lock right here, take a look at this limit switch located right on the backside of your boot. And with this limit switch, it is actually a little plastic arm being pushed up by the actual tonneau cover itself. And if the spring is jammed, or if it's cold, or let's say it's just kind of gucked up in there, that little plastic arm right there may not click in the downwards position when this lowers. And so the car is going to think that this tonneau cover is still upwards and not locked properly. Now, if you lower that little switch to where it clicks in the downward position and you leave this in the upwards position, the car is going to think that this is down, the lock will latch, and then this part of the convertible top, the bow, will lower and hit this, and you can actually cause damage to your convertible top. So always make sure that this is down first, no matter what. Now, when it comes to aligning your convertible soft top, I'm going to share with you 2 quick tips to make sure that it's done right the first time and to give you the best opportunity at a fully working convertible top. Now, the first tip when it comes to aligning your convertible top is always make sure that your roof is up in the closed position. Now, if you have it in the open position, I would follow up on maybe a tutorial or watch a video on how to get this up manually, because your top will not work properly if you try aligning it with the next step if the top is down. For the second tip, once you have your roof in the closed and latched position, you want to turn your key to the accessory mode and then go down to your 2 window switches right here. Press both of them in the downward position and do not let go. Once the windows are fully down, hold these down for an additional 5 to 10 seconds and then do the exact same thing for when the windows are going up. Now that you have performed the soft top alignment procedures and you followed these 2 tips where you made sure that your soft top is in the latched and closed position and you've done the window alignment, feel free to then restart the car into accessory mode and then try operating your soft top with the new hydraulics and see if you get a flashing switch or if your top goes down fully and is able to go back up in a normal sequence. So that will conclude my video for today on the convertible top for the R129 SL. Now, there are many things to cover for this convertible top, and it would take me probably a month of recording, so you tourists probably wouldn't want to watch an hour-long video at least. So feel free to add any questions that I didn't cover in the comments so that I can help you out there. But feel free to check the description because I will include the part numbers for those limit switches. I'll even include a link to the wrench for manual soft top operation if you do not find that in your actual toolkit in the trunk. Other than that, you are all amazing. Thank you so much for watching Beaver Automotive and have a wonderful day.